Hey everyone, welcome back to the AI Tech channel. Today, we're diving deep into Meta's recent LlamaCon. Was it a game changer, or did it expose some serious cracks in Meta's AI armor? Some are whispering it was less a celebration and more a sign Meta's playing catch-up. Stick around, because we're going to break it all down. Did LlamaCon live up to the hype, or did it reveal why Meta's competitors are pulling ahead? Let's find out. So, picture this. Live llamas roaming around Meta's HQ, developers snapping selfies, and inside, a nightclub vibe with dance music blasting. That was LlamaCon. Meta's first AI developer conference was aiming to be a big party, a celebration of open-source AI. But beneath the surface, things weren't quite so festive. The timing was interesting. Remember DeepSeek, that Chinese open-source model that had Silicon Valley, including Meta, in a panic? And then Meta announced it was dropping $65 billion on AI infrastructure? LlamaCon felt like a carefully orchestrated response, a way for Meta to regain some ground. Meta's chief product officer, Chris Cox, framed their open-source strategy as a matter of principle, not reaction. He said, "We were a startup once, too. We built this place on open source." The message was clear. Meta wants developers to see Llama as their ticket to freedom in a world increasingly dominated by closed AI systems like OpenAI and Google. They want developers to feel empowered, to build on Llama and contribute back to the community. But is that enough? LlamaCon brought some announcements. A new Llama API to make integration easier, partnerships to boost AI speed, a security program against AI scams, and $1.5 million in grants for Llama-using startups and universities. All good stuff, right? But here's the kicker. What developers really wanted, a new reasoning model to rival DeepSeek and Alibaba's Qwen, was nowhere to be seen. That's like throwing a birthday party and forgetting the cake. Even Mark Zuckerberg seemed to acknowledge the shortcomings in a conversation with Databricks CEO Ali Ghodsi. He said, "Part of the value around open source is that you can mix and match. If another model, like DeepSeek, is better, or if Qwen is better at something, then, as developers, you have the ability to take the best parts of the intelligence from different models." He even went on to say that this is how open source can surpass closed source models. It felt like a tacit admission that Llama isn't quite leading the pack. The online reaction was brutal. Over on Reddit's r/localllama, the top post was simply, "No new models in LlamaCon announced." Ouch. Users were comparing Meta unfavorably to Qwen 3, which Alibaba strategically dropped right before LlamaCon. One user wrote, "Llama went from competitively good open source to just so far behind the race that I'm beginning to think Qwen and DeepSeek can't even see it in their rearview mirror anymore." Others debated whether Meta chickened out after seeing Qwen's performance. The technical community wasn't happy. Hacker News, a notoriously critical forum, slammed the event's focus on APIs and partnerships as super shallow. And on Threads, one user summed it up as kinda mid. It's like throwing a party and everyone leaves early. When asked about the success of the event, Meta declined to comment. That speaks volumes, doesn't it? Interestingly, Wall Street analysts had a different take. Forrester's Mike Prue called LlamaCon one giant flex of Meta's ambitions and successes with AI. Jefferies analyst Brent Thill saw it as a big step forward towards becoming a hyperscaler. So, while the developers were underwhelmed, the investors were impressed. Talk about a mixed bag. Some developers using Llama models were enthusiastic about its benefits. Yevgeny Petrenko of Tavis praised Llama's speed, which is crucial for AI-powered conversational videos. Hansla Ramy of RightC highlighted its cost-effectiveness, a huge advantage for startups. "For us, cost is huge," he said. "If we go with closed source, we can't process millions of jobs. No way." So, Llama has its strengths, particularly in speed and affordability. Towards the end of the day, Zuckerberg and Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella had a fireside chat about the future of AI. Zuckerberg admitted that Llama 4 was designed around Meta's preferred infrastructure, the H100 GPU, which shaped its architecture and scale. But he acknowledged that the open-source community wants smaller models. "Developers just need things in different shapes," he said. It was a candid admission that Meta isn't quite meeting all the needs of the community. Zuckerberg went on to say, "To be able to basically take whatever intelligence you have from bigger models and distill them into whatever form factor you want. To be able to run on your laptop, on your phone, on whatever the thing is, to me, this is one of the most important things." This idea of distilling intelligence from larger models into smaller, more accessible forms is key. It's about democratizing AI, making it available to everyone, not just those with access to massive computing resources. He is talking about the importance of model distillation, a technique that uses a smaller, more efficient model to mimic the behavior of a larger, more complex one. This allows for faster inference and deployment on resource-constrained devices. One particular paper that explores the efficiency of model distillation is Distilling the Knowledge in a Neural Network by Hinton et al., 2015. This paper demonstrates that a smaller model can learn to generalize in the same way as a larger model, with minimal loss of accuracy. So what's the takeaway? LlamaCon wasn't exactly a victory lap for Meta. It was more like a progress report, a glimpse into a company still figuring out its AI strategy. Meta is betting big on open source, but it needs to deliver more than just APIs and partnerships. It needs to deliver cutting-edge models that can compete with the likes of DeepSeek and Qwen. The focus on open source is good, but it needs to be coupled with actual performance improvements. One of the key technical concepts here is federated learning, where AI models are trained across decentralized devices, preserving data privacy. This could be crucial for Meta, given their history with user data. Another concept is transfer learning, leveraging knowledge from pre-trained models to accelerate the development of new ones. This can significantly reduce training time and resources. But is Meta actually focusing on these areas? That's the question. Now, let's talk about Meta's real target, OpenAI. Meta's AI chatbot app feels like a direct shot at OpenAI's rumored social network. And the Llama API is a clear challenge to OpenAI's API business. Meta wants to undercut proprietary AI model providers like OpenAI and foster a thriving OpenAI ecosystem. As Zuckerberg said, selling access to AI models isn't Meta's business model. But is this strategy sustainable? Can Meta really compete with OpenAI without matching their performance? That's the billion-dollar question. There's also a regulatory angle to consider. The EU AI Act grants special privileges to companies that distribute free and open-source AI systems. Meta claims its Llama models are open source, but there's disagreement on whether they meet the necessary criteria. Is Meta trying to leverage this carve-out to gain a competitive advantage? It's certainly a possibility. We've seen that while investors seem to be generally optimistic about Meta's AI efforts, developers are more skeptical. This divergence highlights a fundamental tension in Meta's strategy. Are they prioritizing short-term gains and investor appeasement over long-term innovation and developer adoption? To keep developers engaged, Meta must address the current performance gap with models like DeepSeek and Qwen. This requires significant investment in research and development, as well as a commitment to open collaboration and transparency. So what's next for Meta and Llama? Will they release a new reasoning model that can finally compete with the best? Will they double down on their open source strategy and foster a truly vibrant community? Or will they fall further behind in the AI race? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, LlamaCon was a wake-up call. Meta needs to step up its game if it wants to be a leader in the AI revolution. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more AI news and analysis. Thanks for watching.